1. You
No,
go
I don't
3,
think 3, 2, or
2,
1.
whatever.
Well, we're live already, so it doesn't really matter.
Count me in.
Ew.
Let's do it. Let's do
This
it.
shirt is an abomination to Star Wars fans.
Dude,
Sorry, I don't have my Mandalorian stuff yet, so you're gonna have to deal.
Why does it say Damien Jeter is alive?
All right. Probably because I'm using his account.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Dean, count me in. Count me in.
Kevin, no.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Look,
5, 4.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Quinn.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Collecting Weekly podcast. This is a bonus episode, and on tonight's show, we're talking The Mandalorian. A little bit of spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, if you're in the unfortunate...
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, if you're in England, I'm sorry, but y'all lost the war. So, I mean, you know. We have Greg in the chat. Greg, that is Quinn.
What up,
Good to see you
Greg?
in the chat.
Lord
And
what does O's mean?
Ooh, see,
I don't know. Look at the handsome guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have almost no plans for today's show. Almost no plans for today's show.
Just general discussion.
Just general discussion. We have a Facebook user as a sub. Make sure to authorize StreamYard so that we can see you. But anyways, so let's talk The Mandalorian. I want to get your first thoughts on the show. Quinn, we'll start with you since you're our esteemed guest. What do you think about the show so far now that we're 4 episodes in?
Okay. One thing about the series that I've seen is I've seen a lot of people who are just like, this is the cat's meow, this is it, blah, 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 blah. But I don't really see many people that are being very subjective about what's going on. Contrary to proper belief, I honestly really didn't like 2 that much. I felt
You're talking
so,
episode 2
episode
of The
2.
Mandalorian. Okay.
Right. My big thing about this is I think 2 would have been great if this was maybe a feature film, something that had length to it. But for a season that's only got 10 episodes that are barely 30 some odd minutes apiece, that's not even a full TV show. And where we got a lot of filler in that episode.
Yeah.
With the most recent episode, I think that was really nice.
Episode 4.
Whole episode 4, and that would be the one with the hard Kurosawa influence, Seven Samurai and such. One thing that really, really rung out to me as soon as it started is the music score. I don't know where they got this guy.
The score is fantastic.
And I think he might be like Norse or something, or something out of like maybe the Slavic bloc, being Czechoslovakia, Russia, Slovenia, all those different areas. Wherever they dug this guy up from. Man, this guy, I want to see more scores done by this guy.
Dude, the score is fantastic. It's like Star Wars meets Rocky meets like just Western. It's like it has everything. It's so good.
Just the way that it starts out, it's like it sets the pace where you're already on like your toes. It's almost like he's riding in on his horse.
Yeah,
exactly. as he's walking into the bar scene in the beginning. So, like this underlying theme sets, I think, like the actual pace. There are some parts in the series where it's slower, but it seems like there's this pace where they're kind of. It's almost like they're running through the episodes, which it isn't such a bad thing, being that they're short. They are kind of running through the episodes. They're like small little stories.
Yeah.
On the negative hand, just because of the fact that it is a TV show, the fact that they're trying to cram things into little segments, I don't think that they probably are really able to do as much as they could with it.
Yeah.
I think there could be a maybe better pacing in some of the stuff.
I will say this, when it's all said and done, like a whole season, I'd rather have 4 hours of this than like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Because I think
Well,
the Last Jedi just clocked, or not the Last Jedi, the
Rise
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 of
of
Skywalker,
Skywalker just
224.
clocked in, 220, which is
Yeah.
shorter than the Last Jedi, which is absurd. Like, what could you possibly do in that amount of time that's gonna either make or break the saga? Um,
I see a lot of people complaining about the runtime, and that is a thing. But for me, it's like they had a huge budget, and they've, everything seems to be really well done. The special effects, the props. Um, I'd rather have a very quality show than a quantity of show.
I
With the budget divided amongst that longer runtime.
I've only had one complaint about the CGI, and it was in the first episode.
Was it when
And
that first speeder
yeah,
pulled up, dude? That was my only
I was
complaint.
like, that was really cheesy. And then everything after that, I was like, okay, damn.
Yeah,
Um,
it looked better. I watched it first on a like a 1080 TV, and when I watched it in 4K, it looked a little better. But yeah,
yeah,
that it was very jarring, that first speeder.
I mean, their budget starting off is already more than Game of Thrones was ending on. So I was really disappointed with that. But like I said, that was the last time I ever had an issue. So
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't shop around. Maybe
think
they
the
just
budget,
ran with the first person that they got for CG and expected, or maybe they were promised something more than what they were getting, kind of thing. And then once you're already into production, like
yeah, I mean, if your $15 million episode budget can't give us a full hour, I don't know. I mean, Game of Thrones was doing it at 12. And honestly, as it sits, I think Game of Thrones looked better.
I don't know about that. I think the story was bigger, but I
yeah,
think
the
Shot
story
every
for
was
shot,
definitely
I
more-
think
motherfucker
Game
they
of
had a
Thrones looked
they had a
better.
Starbucks cup in the scene, and then they had a second cup later in the series.
Okay, but that's not what we're
Coming with
talking
that.
about. We're
Real quick,
talking
we
about
have we have
visually.
we have
No, no, no,
Matt.
no, no, no. We're
We have
talking
Matt
about
in the chat.
no, no,
We
no.
have Greg. We have
You're gonna
Mervin.
try and move on, but you're not moving on.
what
Game
a-
of Thrones, shot for shot, looks better
I
than
think
Mandalorian looks right now, and
right
they had a full
now.
hour with
I think
$3
when it gets to the
million less
point, I
budget.
think when it gets to the point when they called in all the 501st people for backup, I think then you'll have a good comparison of which show is better. If it's a set that required that many people.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying, with $15 million budget, you can't give us a full hours, and Game of Thrones did, and it was a full hour. I think, like, what's the issue? Did you not think this is going to do well? And maybe they did. Maybe they were like, "Fuck, it's a gamble." But they already started season 2, so
Yeah, but if you look at Game of Thrones though, all that amount of runtime ended with the season finale and the series finale that we got. So it's like all
Right,
those
but
plot points that they
that's
spent hours and episodes and
okay. But that's
years
not
building up were
that's not
basically
a
just
budget issue. That's the
Throw away.
writers being fucking assholes.
yeah, but this is also a show that is science fiction. Like in Game of Thrones, there's people in costume and there's sets, but you know, I would say some of this stuff is more CGI and budget intensive than some things in Game of Thrones. Maybe,
I don't
maybe
know.
obviously not like that last season with all the walkers and the dragons and everything, but
Yeah, and King's Landing, and that last season visually was stunning.
because this
Story-wise,
Mandalorian, like in the
garbage.
bar, there's like 8 different alien species, and that's costumes and real props and actors. And I'm not saying that they're. I get what you're saying, but I
You're
think
saying
we're too
that's what
early
you're
to
saying.
tell what that budget was used for.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm just saying.
Now,
if
my
you think
my
about
initial
all the
thoughts.
30-minute episodes.
Yeah, my initial thoughts. I will agree. The episodes are too short. I actually liked episode 2. It was very slow.
The beginning was cool, and then it was.
I will
just
say
like,
they've certainly
like
subverted
elements.
my. I will say they
There's definitely good
certainly.
elements to it.
They did what?
And so there's definitely good elements to it. I'm not taking
Yeah.
episode 2 away from them being that it was a bad episode.
Yeah.
It really broke.
I
really
loved
broke
it. I loved everything about episode 2. Honestly.
I've watched every episode more than once, except for episode 2.
Same
I
here.
just,
I've watched
And I need to
episode
go back.
2.
I need to go back and rewatch it. Really.
I think.
I think I probably watched episode 2 and 3 the most.
Yeah.
This is the one.
I just like episode 2. I mean, it's just like very slow pace. Like it's a very small story, but I feel like right now this show the story is very small. Like it's going to
Right.
broaden out as more of the factions of the Empire are involved.
For sure.
But it felt like such a tiny story that was nice to see in a universe where everyone fucking knows everyone. It's like the same 8 people that do everything. Like it was just like a dude on a planet dealing with Jawas. Like that was so refreshing to see. Fighting a monster, you got the classic Star Wars, beast, whatever. And Nick Nolte's character was just stunning. I mean, this show has so many good characters, so many iconic characters at this point. You got Baby Yoda, you got Nick Nolte's character, you got I would even say the client is pretty good. His voice, the acting.
Oh, Herzog.
Um,
Herzog is amazing.
Herzog, Carl Weathers' character is really good. Cara Dune, and it seems like
Oof.
the Mandalorian. Each episode is going to be helped by a character. I now that we're 4 episodes in and we haven't seen IG-11 come back, I truly think that we probably just was a 1 episode character. Nick Nolte's
Well,
character being the exception, being in 2 episodes, but it seems like all the different characters that he's meeting along the way are just for those particular few episodes.
from what I heard, Cara Dune is coming back for the last 2 episodes. So I think something's going to come to a head where
Yeah,
there will be more.
Like the Bounty Hunter Guild.
I think
Yeah,
I was a little more excited about the series until I
Mhm.
made the mistake of looking at the IMDb and then seeing
Oh,
who was
no.
in the episode.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. If
By
it's-
how
if it's-
many times? No, because it
Oh,
tells you
okay.
how many episodes there
that
are.
happened to me one time. I forgot what
And I
I
was just like, I was like, damn it! Why did I look at that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's footage. There's actually footage of an IG unit talking to Cara Dune, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's 11, but
Yeah.
Right.
it could be another one. Being
Mhm.
okay, so let's go back to Star Wars lore in the first place. IG-88 was actually
He
a
replicated himself to A,
yeah.
B,
There
C,
was
and D.
actually like 5 of him.
Yeah.
So who's to say that the IG-11 unit didn't do the same?
Exactly.
That's the point that I brought up. I think it was a few episodes ago on Collecting with You, but yeah, I had said that just because he's IG-11 doesn't mean he's the only IG-11.
That's also a super unfair advantage to have as a bounty hunter.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Like collecting 5 bounties at once.
Speaking of which, that's something that struck me very odd that they had the Mandalorian call him a bounty droid. Now, they've always been up until this point called assassin droids. So, what makes IG-11 a bounty droid versus an assassin droid?
I don't know.
Is that just?
I mean,
I'll bring that.
to the guild?
Let me pose this question.
Okay.
So the Mandalorian was given a small deposit by the client of Beskar for taking on the job, and we come to find out that dozens of guild members also were given tracking fobs. So did every bounty hunter get a little deposit to go on this trip, or only the Mandalorian because he was of Mandalorian origin and they were returning the Beskar armor? That I thought
Well,
about.
if you remember, Carl Weathers was actually given some as well. And
Yeah,
it
he was
seems-
given some for the
So-
for finding the Mandalorian. So that was interesting. I know Dean wanted to talk at some point today. Maybe we can get into it right now. But the Mandalorian is, as we found out in this last episode, adopted into the religion, the cult of the Mandalorian, and
the covert.
the covert. Thank you,
Mhm.
Dean. You were somewhat disappointed in the fact that Jango and Boba Fett are now canonically not Mandalorian, and you had mentioned in the Clone Wars cartoon, all the Mandalorians had no problem taking their helmets off.
Yeah, people do it all
So
the time.
is this, Quinn? Do you think this no helmet removal rule is maybe this particular covert? Do you think it's maybe a new rule now that the
Post-Empire.
Mandalorians are post Empire rule? What do you think about that, Quinn?
Honestly, I think this covert is actually probably the purest that we've seen towards the Mandalore culture.
Okay.
They mentioned they only go out one at a time, so people only think that there's one. They hold to specific tenets. Nobody gets to see their face. They don't remove their helmet in front of others. It almost seems like they don't even remove their helmets in front of each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that would be something that would maybe be familial, like within a family, if there is one.
Yeah.
They haven't really covered that portion of it yet. As far as the ones in the Clone Wars, they were actually changing what it was to be Mandalorian.
Okay.
Whereas, they were actually going against what the original tenets of the Mandalores were and
Well, that was,
reinventing Mandalorian culture. So I
but
think
even
that's
Death,
really
what were they called? Death
Death
Watch.
Watch.
Death Watch.
They also were trying to be like, we want to keep our ways, and they were taking their shit off all the time.
Well, you have to remember though too that it's also a cartoon that's kind of geared towards kids, even though it's for adults too. It's more geared towards kids, and they're trying to put recognition on a specific character.
Yeah.
If they just had them with their helmets on the entire show, with little minuscule markings here and there, I don't know that it would
Maybe
have
they
gone
wouldn't have gotten it.
well. Yeah.
Greg says, "How is Django not a Mando?" Greg, that is something that Disney set forth. That I think they said that he had either killed the Mandalorian and got the armor, or that his armor was Durasteel, not Beskar.
It was covered in both Clone Wars and Rebels that both
Yeah.
Boba and Jango are not Mandalorian because they didn't follow the Mandalorian tenets and weren't raised in its culture.
Which is absolute bullshit. Because, original canon, Django was Mandalore. At one point, he took
Yeah,
out
because
Mandalore.
But
But it's like,
to quote Lucas, he changes shit to screw with people. So yeah. So Disney's going to do it too. They've nitpicked everything to fit their storylines. So.
mhm.
So, what is you guys' I know we talked about episode 2. What is your favorite episode though so far?
Oh man,
I gotta go with episode 3.
Nope,
4 was really good, but
This is the way.
This is the way is iconic, man.
Yeah, you can't like.
3 is pretty good.
Yeah.
4 is also really good. It's a little
Mexican standoff at the end of
a little
3.
cliche, yeah. A little tropey. There's a lot of tropes.
They're gonna
But
have
it
to
was-
come up with
it was-
something really
it was
big to
fun.
trump the Mexican standoff at the end of 3.
Well, down here we just call it a standoff.
Oh well,
We're in Texas.
we're speaking film language here, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have just said
I thought 4 was really good. I love the ending where he had almost decided to stay there. Though as soon as he said I'm leaving the kid here, my mind was like, wait, everyone is going to find this kid eventually.
Right.
And of course that's what happened. Mervin says this helmet rule had to be implemented after the purge that happened. Danny Lee says hello everyone. Danny, Mervin, good to see you guys. And Fernando says episode 3 Mando Wick.
yeah.
So
And episode 3 was really good because I remember watching it and he's like kind of hunkered down. You could see him kind of like giving up hope and he's looking at the little Yoda baby. And I was like, why the fuck doesn't all his Mandalorian friends and family come out and help him? And then, yeah, they all showed up. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
I will say I like the fact that it seems in every episode there's one moment where he's completely outclassed and something happens that he's able to get out of it. In the first episode, Nick Nolte's character shot the blurg with the electro dart.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda saved him from the
Mudhorn.
Mudhorn.
Mudhorn, yeah.
IG-11 kind of bailed him out against the bounty hunters. The Mandalorian saved his
but
ass,
he
and
wouldn't
then
have
Cara
been in that-
Dune.
he wouldn't have been in that specific situation if it wasn't for the IG unit. So I don't know if that counts.
Well,
Yeah.
at any rate, in every episode, there's at least one instance where he's bailed out by another character, and that's good to see. I'm tired of these God mode characters just
Walking
taking
in
over.
there.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing that's also really neat to see is that his armor and equipment seems to have some residual carryovers. So in the third episode, when he rescued the child, he detonated one of his grenades on the side of the building. And in the next episode, he had 2 grenades instead of 3, and then he used the last 2 during that episode. So I think that's pretty cool to see the carryover of the damage to his armor and the his
Attention
inventory.
to detail.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. The one thing that bothers me though is the cape length changes from scene to scene. That like kills me because I've been working on these damn custom capes. It kills me. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. Do you guys have any theories for where the show is going to go now that it seems very open-ended as to what could happen next?
I don't want to speculate where it's going.
Right.
I just know that if you're Disney at this point, being how well received Baby Yoda is, like if he would have died at the end of the last episode, people would have taken to the streets. Okay,
Oh, for sure.
so
The
at
White
this
House would
point,
be in flames right now.
at this point, if you're Disney and he does die, like you're freaking out, like fuck.
Well, I could tell you
hope
how
he doesn't
I
die.
know what his fate is.
How's that?
Rian Johnson actually has gone on record saying that he knows that he doesn't die and that there's plenty more of him. So,
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Ryan. Sorry, his name's really Ryan, isn't it?
It's Ruin Johnson.
It's a dumb way to pronounce his name or write his name.
I think
R.I.
I
Is
don't
it
know.
Ruin?
I don't think you can kill him because one, it's a baby. It'd be really sad to see him die. Also, he's cute as hell. Also, everybody loves him. But at the same time, where is
It would be pretty epic storytelling to see it happen.
But it's like
if it was handled right.
No,
so-
nothing can ever happen to that beautiful angel. Okay?
so in 50 years he ages. Someone fucked up here because Yoda starts training Jedi when he's 100.
Right.
So
right.
this baby's 50. He's already halfway there, and he's not even.
Yeah, but
doesn't look like
kids
No,
that are
no,
as
no,
young
no.
as like 4 and 5 start training at the Jedi Temple.
No, he's training Jedi, not training as a Jedi. Yoda's was training Jedi at 100 years old.
Yeah, but Yoda for hundreds of years was a Jedi Master. So,
I know. So I'm saying in 50 more years from this baby to training Jedi, he's going to age very rapidly.
I don't think that that's that wild to believe.
So from 0 to 50, you're still an infant, and then 50 to 100, you're a full-fledged adult.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's an infant. I mean, he walks around. He
doesn't
hunts
talk.
his own food.
He
Okay,
can't-
Yoda barely talks. Okay, no one, half people can't even understand Yoda. So
Okay, good.
first
one.
off,
You're an
second
idiot.
off, he could be speaking his own language, his own sweet angelic language that no one
Noises.
understands.
Those aren't even like
The cherub language.
Third off, we have Gare in the chat. He says, "I will go to war for Baby Yoda."
Okay.
There you
That's amazing.
Yeah, go see somebody. I'm worried about that.
Lavelle.
So I will say, I for some reason I thought Yoda was barely becoming a student at age 100. That's what I've read in
No, he
some of the
says
Star Wars theory stuff.
In Empire, he says for 800 years I trained Jedi, and he dies at 900. So
I'm gonna pull this quote up. Real
at
quick.
100, I just watched Empire 2 days in a row. So
You watched it 2 days in a row. Oh my god.
yeah, I love Empire. Anyway,
It's that good. This is the
where is he? I mean, I guess you could continue after the sequel trilogy, that he would be kind of like adultish. But again, that's another 40.
I mean, look at a human,
35
a kid.
years
Look at a
later?
12-year-old kid. Look at a 16-year-old kid. That's a huge difference in maturity.
right.
Sure.
I'm sure there's some math that we could do.
I'm just saying from 0 to 50. and
No,
he hasn't
I'm not.
aged
Yeah,
that much. It
Well,
seems odd that he would then exponentially age way faster.
Well, if you stop
But-
and think about it, 900 years. What's 50 out of 900 years? It's like 1/18 his age. So he should definitely be at least maybe a teenager at 50. You would think.
Right. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
you're saying
my
it's
point.
1/18 his age. So let's do some math here. So let's just say the average age of a human is 80 years old divided by 18. That's 4 years.
Okay.
4 years is like 4.4 years.
That's
I mean, most
talking-
kids at 4.4 years are like barely talking coherent sentences and being assholes. I mean,
What-
Yoda has the asshole thing down. He's fucking
I
up
mean,
the
I
ship.
guess- I guess he is walking on his own. It just seems. a
Yeah.
little
Well, and he's
odd.
eating.
No,
Maybe-
he's sipping tea at you. So you know.
Mervin says you got to remember Yoda would have been in the Jedi Temple, so even if he was a young 100-year-old, he would have advanced his knowledge greatly. I mean, at 50, Baby Yoda could stop and pick up a large object with the Force. That is true. I mean, there's some things this kid does. What if he does talk? What if he just hasn't talked yet?
Maybe.
Yeah, That's actually what.
What
I've
if,
been
like, in the
reading
next
that
episode, he's like,
happened.
"Bro, you should have stayed and clapped them cheeks."
Okay, my point was when this is all a great debate, but
This is a great debate, by the
this
way.
is 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Uh-huh.
Right.
How many years is it until The Force Awakens?
I think
40?
it's 8. Yeah, it's something like that.
So where's Mama Yoda at? Because
Yaddle, baby.
Well,
So you're trying to say how old will he be in The Force Awakens?
that
well, I'm
gave
just saying, where the
Yoda-
fuck is he?
that gave
so-
Yoda 45 years.
So
to
that'd be
clap
80
his
years.
So maybe after this movie finishes, we'll get like a Baby Yoda adult movie.
Well, Dean, there's some speculation about this because the episode that comes out on the week that the Rise of Skywalker comes out earlier in the week. I think it's like on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Oh, they
Ooh.
don't want it to
And
interfere
people
with the
people are
release.
saying no, not that, Quinn. People are saying that episode, which is the penultimate episode, the episode before the last one, is going to give us some chunk to connect Baby Yoda to Risen Palpatine, and that's going to explain blank blank blank, whatever that may be. So
okay.
that's going to be pretty crispy.
People are reaching.
Dean, I have a little gift that I'm working on for you, by the way, with Baby Yoda. I
Wow.
ordered it today
Wow.
from Watto Scrapyard. Shout out to
Very cool.
Shout
I
out
think
to
I know
Sean.
what it is.
Shout out to
You-
Sean, sponsor of Watto's,
Man.
sponsor of Collecting Weekly bonus episode, The Mandalorian Chat.
You see that people that tells you right there. Just remember not to tell Zach your secrets because he can't hold surprises there.
Oh no, dude, I am the worst. I bought my wife Black Friday gift and I already couldn't keep it in. Here's what you got. So Dean, I guess you're getting 2 gifts this year because I got the postie for you.
Oh, nice. I want that so bad.
Anyways, so let's get back to the Mandalorian here, but yeah, that is a very interesting discussion. And one person said this. I haven't done the math, but the numbers seem to add up. But that Anakin and Baby Yoda, this is from like a fact thing on Instagram.
Oh,
however,
they were born
at
at
the same time.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting because according to the comics, Palpatine influenced the Force, and it's highly implied that he
I heard
influenced the
this.
Force to create Anakin, and some people are saying that perhaps he created Yoda as well.
Well, I heard that Yoda felt that disturbance and was able to create a baby Yoda. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
Like Yoda was able to sense an imbalance and was like, "Nah, fuck this," and did whatever. I don't know how
Clap
to
them
do it.
cheeks.
Yeah.
He's like, I got work to do.
Okay, so if he's 900 years old,
No, it's fucked. I won't.
if he's 50 years old as a toddler, right?
Uh-huh.
4 years old as toddler-ish.
Sure. Let's say
How-
young child.
What's the gestation period of a Yodaling?
See, Mervin actually says this here in a second. He said, we can't measure the Yoda species' knowledge of the Force and how connected they are to it because we know nothing about them. We don't even have a species name.
Yeah.
So
Lucas made that a point. Of making sure that we didn't
Because
know.
if you live, let's just say, the average human life is 80 years, and you are born in 9 months, what's the gestation period?
you're saying it could be like
Of a Yoda.
decades or something.
Yeah.
Maybe they come out of
Ow.
eggs. Who
Sorry.
knows?
Yeah, that's,
Oh, that'd be true. That's true.
that would
It'd be an
explain
egg.
the really sharp three.
Let's
pronged,
go him
handle.
Yodel.
Do you think
Yoda
that at the
and
end of
now
Return of the
Yoda.
Jedi, there is another line referenced Baby Yoda, perhaps?
to Baby
Dude,
Yoda.
I
There you
thought
go.
that.
There
same
you go.
thing. And that's actually an Empire when he says that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fake fan. So I think it could, because I know they were saying like, oh, well, Leia was the last Jedi, but obviously that plot point I don't think can play out given real life
Not
circumstances.
anymore.
Nope, not going there. And so I don't know. I think I love this character. To me, this is the most intriguing thing. Second most is the fact that the Mandalorian has completely subverted my expectations. I thought this was just going to be a bounty hunting show, and at this point, it's Quinn, like you mentioned earlier, like the samurai protecting the. You mentioned
Seven
what'd you say?
Samurai. Kurosawa.
Yeah. This is totally subverting
Yeah.
my expectations
Club
for the
and,
show.
lone
Yeah.
wolf and cub kind of thing.
Exactly. From the first, 25 minutes of that first episode, I was like, "This is what we're gonna get." And
So it's
since
gonna
then,
become-
it's been amazing.
Is he going to become the Yodalorian?
Dude, that's actually Sean Watto Scrapyard is printing
That's
this 3D printing Yoda, baby Yodas with the Mandalorian gear on. Dude, they look so
yes,
cute.
yes.
I had to pass, but dude, they're looking cute. Fernando says he thought Dean was drinking a 40.
No, it's
Dude,
tea.
that'd be gangsta. Um, so yeah, there's 4 episodes left, and they're already filming season 2. I know we don't want to get into what we think could happen.
I couldn't even guess at where the show's
Yeah,
headed.
that's yeah. I mean, even after the last episode, I couldn't guess, and then even after this episode, now I'm just like, at some point, the Empire is going to get involved. We know that. We've seen with Death Troopers. I know there's going to be a big battle at some point.
We've seen Moff Gideon, which is the character that you see in the Imperial.
Yeah,
Carlos
I think that's how
Espinosa.
the show's gonna end.
Exactly.
He's gonna show up in the town with all his death troopers. They're gonna have a shootout.
So I'm wondering
getting
if
there-
he isn't going to stay out of it the entire time, and that's going to be the cliffhanger, is him showing up in some sort of showdown with the Mandalorian or something like that, kind of almost Thrawn-esque, sort of thing.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah,
man, that'd be dope if Thrawn came into this show.
yeah, that would, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
They need to do something with that storyline because
Yep. There you go, buddy.
The Thrawn-DeLorean.
Did
Mandalorian.
you?
There
I
we go.
can't even see.
Or actually,
Thrawn
that would be
right now?
cool to see a Mandalorian that was Chiss.
Do you think that we'll see
I could get down
him
with
take
that.
his helmet off?
Maybe.
Not
Mandalorian?
in season 1. He absolutely will not take his helmet off in season 1.
It's Pedro Pascal, man. We have to. He's so handsome.
No, Favreau's already gone on record saying in the first season that he doesn't remove his helmet. So
Well, Favreau also went on record saying there was gonna be no Baby Yoda merch, and apparently
Well-
the storm is coming. So
yeah, well, that's Disney's say. That's not his say. So he really doesn't. And
true.
people are already making their own baby merch. You can find
yeah.
stuff all over.
Watto Scrapyard, baby. Watto's
Dude, the
Scrapyard
baby
on
merch is
Facebook.
awful. Have you gone to StarWars.com?
It really
It's
is.
the same picture on cups, shirts, and like books.
No,
Yeah,
I haven't even looked at Star
it's
Wars.
awful.
But I've seen some really amazing baby merch already that people have made, like the what is it, the child protectors or babysitters or something like that, where it has the 5 Mandalorians behind Yoda. One where they've got the Mandalorian, the scene, the first picture that we got of him walking, but then he has like a flak harness similar to the first Order's harness, and it's got Baby Yoda tucked in the front of it,
Nice.
like he's carrying him. Yeah. So there's some cool stuff out there, definitely. But of course, it's all non-official. So
That pop, can we talk about the pop right now?
Yeah. So
sick.
breaking news. This is just a few moments before we started recording, but
Hey guys, it's Kevin.
Funko is making a 10-inch oversized Mandalorian pop, apparently, according to this website. And I need that, like...
A Mandalorian pop or?
Oh, I'm sorry, Baby Yoda pop. Sorry, I was trying to
Yeah.
pull it up. A oversized Baby Yoda pop, 10 inches, which almost seems to be life size. Obviously, it's not
That's what
going
it
to be
looks like.
life size in the detail, but I gotta say, man, I am pretty excited about that. I'll tell you that much. What Mandalorian merch have you guys picked up? I got the Black Series IG-11 Cara Dune Mandalorian, the Funko Pop Mandalorian, and then I got a 3D printed blaster by Poison Harley Customs, the sidearm that I've been working on.
Nice.
What about you guys? Quinn, what do you got?
So far, I just have 2 prints, and I posted them both in the.
Oh, I
group
got
so
prints.
far.
Yeah, I got prints too.
Yeah, I've got the panoramic print of the Razor's Edge behind him as he's surveying the ground.
The one from the poster, like the theatrical poster.
No, it's different.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it. I'll show it to you guys again. I don't have it. It's in the other room, actually mounted on my wall, so I can't exactly show it. But I'll re-show it in the group. And then the one that's really colorful in the background that has Cara Dune, the Mandalorian, and IG-88. That one's not posted. I could probably grab that real quick and show you guys, but
Yeah,
I have to run in the other room to do it.
the three amigos.
Oh, you suck.
Yeah,
Um,
Quinn is looking for a Mandalorian Black Series, by the way. If anyone
I
can
think
find
everyone
one,
is. Dude, the price is crazy online.
You can get the chromed version from Target. Target started this morning at like midnight, and I had no idea that they were going to do this, where you bought two, got one free. And had I known that at midnight last night, I would have gotten one. But they're sold out. All they have is of anybody who's really any good that you'd want is the chromed version of the Mandalorian. And
Yeah, that's what.
I don't really want the chromed one. Oh, that's him? Oh, he doesn't look bad.
He doesn't look terrible. I think Zach customized his.
wait, let me go get mine. Let me go get mine.
Yeah, I think his looks better.
Yeah.
I will say that this one is going for like $80 online.
Is it really?
In box, but yeah, and I'm like,
Shit, man, if I'd known that, I would have bought like a bunch of them.
So I completely repainted the whole armor, redid the weathering, redid the helmet, custom cape. I painted the little red bits, these little right there. Oh, look at that, it looks crispy. Oh,
Yeah.
I love this thing. This is my favorite figure I bought this year. Like full stop. Bar
yeah,
none.
dude, it's
Every Hot Toys I bought is less than this figure. This figure is stupid good. It's ridiculous. I love this thing. I've taken this thing to work like 3 weeks in a row every day. It's so fun to play with. Super articulated. Just I could not be happier with it. The
And-
custom cape took it to the next level.
This is
I don't mean to toot my own horn.
this is a close second. This thing is amazing.
Yeah, the Cara Dune is awesome. The IG-11 is okay, but
No, G11 sucks, but this one is pretty fucking amazing. The face printing, also, she's a babe. If you're out there listening to this somehow, marry me. I will take care of you.
Wow.
We could protect each other because she doesn't need protecting. She could take care of herself.
She'd kick all our asses.
Dude,
And I
bad.
actually trained, so
yeah, that last episode, I was so stoked when she was in the thumbnail. I was like, yes, finally I get to see Bae in action because goddamn, she's beautiful.
true words never spoken. True
I was
never
like
spoken.
just like waiting for her to pop up on screen, and then she showed up, and I was like, hell yeah. And there was definitely
this is the print that
nice
on my wall.
Dude, that looks clean. I gotta print the ones my wife did. She's gonna do the Baby Yoda looking at the sunset as her next digital print, or I
Nice.
guess like digital art. And
what happened? What is this?
yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, dude, just episode 4 was so fun, man.
Going forward, Dean, do you think we should just do another recap when the show's over, now that we're at the halfway point, or how do you want to do it?
Ooh, that's nice.
I know this past few weeks have been crazy with your accident and Thanksgiving, and it was way easier to do it for Game of Thrones because it was in the middle of like the year when nothing was going on. Now that it's the holiday season, it's ridiculous.
Well, not only that, but it was like Sunday. Nothing's going on Sunday.
Yeah, Fernando's like that farmer girl was low key bae. Dude, she was a dime.
Yeah,
She was
she
remarking very suggestive things. She's like, you fit right in. And like other things.
This is the other print.
Dude, I thought it was weird when she was like, put it in my ass. I thought that was a little out of line.
Wow. That's pretty dope.
So I don't know if this is official or not, but this is the other print that I have on my wall. That's got the 4 of them.
Wait, did you get that from Etsy?
No, not at all. I got it at the Wizard Con that was just here, the Wizard Comic Con or whatever.
Matt says Hasbro has always had world-class sculptors, but hardly anyone cared until The Mandalorian came out. So many of their Black Series have been amazing for years now. That is true. I haven't really cared, but
Yeah,
the Mandalorian really solidified it for me as starting to buy into the line.
Wait, who said that? Because I've been on record as saying
Dean has never said that on this podcast ever. Just
bullshit.
on record.
I always say that. The only thing that their paint has always been lacking.
Wait,
But
Greg, hang on. Before you go on,
face printing technology is.
Greg has a theory. He has to get off. So, Greg, drop your theory in the comments and we'll discuss it. Hurry up, Greg.
The Hulk had sex with Yoda and gave birth to the baby. We know what his theory is.
Wow.
It always has something to do with the Hulk. I hate this guy. Gregory, I've gone on record as saying he's my least favorite person ever.
Mervin says season recap.
I'm just kidding. I love Greg.
Season finale recap would be good because you guys can recap everything. I think you're right, Mervin.
Yeah, I think week to week.
It's just so hard because now that we're doing way more effort on the show, the live show, It's just like I'm drained. I don't want to do another show.
Yeah, it's also super difficult to find.
Again, just to
Yeah, I
reiterate,
almost couldn't even make that.
Dean has never said on the show that he liked Black Series. Just wanted to
Dude,
put that
bullshit.
out there.
Fuck you. In
For
fact,
the record.
in fact, my last year, my figure of the year was
General Veers.
yeah, dude.
No. Your 6-inch figure of the year.
Okay, yeah,
Not
that
figure
was
of the year overall. Dude, that figure's dope.
still blown away by that figure. It's
That's the one that was the Walgreens exclusive, correct?
Yeah. Greg, hurry up and give us your theory. Yeah, it's Walgreens exclusive.
Dude, if you can find it, and if you don't have it and you can find it, get it. It's so good.
I've been kind of torn with Black Series because in this, and I've only ever dealt with the 6-inch because the 3.34 is they're garbage, but the 6-inch, some of them have been really good. Some other ones have been really garbage. So it's kind of really hit or miss on which of the characters it is.
Definitely. Like the Lando sculpt is not, or the sculpt as itself is really good, but the paint is so bad that
The paint apps have never been
you
there.
can't get
It's
any.
never been their strong suit.
No. But I've seen people repaint that one. Any Poe Dameron that comes out, the sculpts are there,
Right.
100%.
Right.
But the paint apps are so bad that you just can't see it.
Yeah, and you see that a lot in the 1/6 world as well.
So luckily they started doing the face printing these things are amazing. And like Zach and I were saying last night on Small Talk, shout out Damien and Dylan. The day that Black Series comes with interchangeable hands and or heads, all in the same package, it's game changing for everybody.
That's a good theory.
That's kind of the only reason why Bandai or Mayfix or what's the other one? I guess it's those two.
Figma.
Well, Figma doesn't do Star Wars or anything, but yeah, those things.
Revoltech.
Those things are above and beyond because they have a lot of accessories and they're really highly detailed. Black Series has the detailing down, and I have no problem with the current articulation. So all we need is accessories. I mean, she came with 2 guns and a knife. If she came with like separate hands and maybe a different expression on her head, insane. That would be incredible.
Real quick, Mervin says Black Series has always been good, but availability and the big gaps between waves has always been a big issue with me. I would get tired of waiting and end up selling off. Now, Greg's theory is that the Village Widow is Boba Fett's wife/partner, how she knew how to shoot, why she had a Mando boner and wanted him to settle down with her. The villagers were familiar with Mando, so Boba can be why. He said also she hoped that Mando was a clone just like Boba. She wanted to take off that helmet to see her old lover, which also means Boba has a daughter. That's a pretty good theory. Honestly, when I was watching that episode, my wife and I were both like, how does she know how to shoot so good? And
it's not a bad theory, actually.
Dude, Greg, first off,
who did you hear that from is what I want to know.
Greg, I gotta give you
not
the
your theory. That's pretty good. I like that, Greg. That's good.
That is a good theory, dude. Because she was really hitting on him hard. Like, she was hard. She was all up on that thing.
She did have a lady boner.
Dude, she wanted the rug burn.
I still think Boba Fett's alive. I think...
Dude, can you imagine if he settled down with her and Boba comes back? That would be a dope fight.
Dude, I could imagine season 2 or season 3, like the Mando has to like go seek counsel from somebody, and he gets there and it's all Boba Fett all fucked up, but he's still
Greg
alive.
said that's his original theory.
Yeah.
What?
Matt says some legends are starting to come with more hands. I think they're slowly listening. Give it about 20 years for a Black Series.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that there are definitely going to be more cameos. Unfortunately, I doubt that we'll see Boba, at least definitely not in season 1. I don't think we'll see Boba.
No, that's why it's season 2 or season 3.
Maybe is a possibility in 2, but I guess that's really up to Favreau, since he's basically kind of writing, directing.
Just a few more things before we cut this one off, but I think it's really interesting to see that carbon freezing people has caught on.
Right.
It's just a matter of years.
Yep.
Like what? How
like
long between
8 years? I think it's like 2 years between Empire and Return of the Jedi, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
God, it took him that long to find Jabba.
So just under 10 years.
Well, no, they knew where he was, but They
Well, here's the
to
thing.
devise the
Too,
plan to get it in place.
is it's not that carbon freezing wasn't around.
Zach, if I'm ever
It's
captured and it
it's
takes you 2 years to save me, and you knew where I was from the beginning, I'll be upset. I'll just say that.
it's
I'll
more
come
that
find you.
Vader was he was
Worried that Luke was gonna die.
exactly. They didn't know about the survivability of carbon freezing actual people.
Right.
So carbon freezing was probably the technology. It was probably around and it was probably cheap. It's probably more that they had been, had some mad scientists somewhere experimenting on animals trying to,
Not only that, but they made the technology very portable now. It fits in your
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
because just to kind of factualize boost that idea in the back, in Rebels they had the guy who was actually investigating the temple and trying to figure out, how that worked. So the Emperor had scientists of some sort in the Empire doing certain things. So it's not a hard stretch to think that they weren't, trying to, develop the technology for the carbon freezing.
Yep. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we cut this one off?
So what about the Loth cat?
Oh,
that was
loved it. Loved it. Nice little touch.
I was just like, what?
Yeah,
There was
that was
something else I
exciting.
wanted to talk about, but I couldn't. We
You
went
think we're
too
gonna see any
far.
lightsabers in this series?
I hope not.
I hope not. Actually, probably. Unless they can find a good way of bringing it in, like
Dude, what do you think we'll see the dark
Again,
saber in this series? That'd be
dark
pretty
saber
dope.
would be kind of cool,
That'd be pretty
or
dope.
something similar to it. They already had the vibra axes, so if they stay in that whole,
Yeah, they have the vibro blades too.
well, yeah, but vibra blades, well, to my, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong about this because I haven't seen it anywhere else. But the vibra blade, when it first kind of showed up, was more of a sword rather than a knife. Which, I mean, a knife's only a small sword or
Yeah,
whatever.
in
But
Coder, it was like a
yes,
katana. Like it was pretty
right,
large.
exactly. So, just curious as to
We got
if we.
Carl Topman also in the chat.
What up, Carl?
We got a lot of people watching. We got like 12 people watching right now.
There's a
So
lot of comments.
if
72
anyone
comments.
wants, I'm just gonna say this off topic. If anyone wants a Christmas card, let me know. Send me a message. Send me your address. We're mailing out Christmas cards tomorrow. The prints are gonna have to wait until the signed prints are gonna have to wait until we do the Collecting Weekly show when Dean is here.
So,
Oh my gosh, when Dean's here to sign his prints and he doesn't have a car at the moment. But yeah, Christmas cards going out tomorrow. Sending you an Ox sticker with the Christmas card. So if you want one, drop me a message if you haven't gotten a sticker yet. Anyways, back to Mandalorian. I'm really excited. I feel like a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, this feels like Star Wars," and
I feel
they're
like
saying
it
like
doesn't.
they're saying like, "Whoa, okay." They're saying like,
It feels new. It feels really different.
This feels to me
I mean, there's a lot of
portion
Star
of Star
Wars
Wars that
references.
hasn't really been touched on, that's egregiously been overlooked for the longest time. We're finally in an era where we're finally getting the scum and villainy of Star Wars, which has been something that I think probably everybody who's in love with Star Wars, or at least Episode 4, has wanted to see since he walked into the bar at the Mos Eisley Cantina.
"Yep,
The aliens, I mean, it's like the whole underworld, that sort of thing. They touched on it in KOTOR, and that's part of one of the things that built such a great ambiance to that story, is that it was all the stuff that was, all the weird stuff that was new, that still like fit in the universe really well. Everybody wanted more of that. So this is probably one of the smartest moves they've used for new Star Wars content in the longest time.
yeah." Noble says, "Noble, I did get your address. Yes, I did. It was in my junk folder, but I got it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's a good show. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it feels just different enough that it's not. It's new. It's nice, but it's also so rooted in Star Wars that it's familiar and
Right.
easily digestible. Which I
Mhm.
think for an audience that isn't a huge Star Wars fan, it's good for them. As someone who's a gigantic Star Wars fan, is also really good for them.
I
Which is
also
why
think it's a
everybody seems
starting
to
point
be.
for people who haven't seen anything at all, because
I'm
I have a friend who's actually never liked Star Wars in his life, and he wound up getting Disney Plus for something else, and he
getting
just
it from.
started watching Mandalorian, and he's like, "Whoa, wait a minute here!" Like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I've tried to watch the old movies and stuff like that," and he's like, "I get a couple minutes into them and just turn them off," and I said, "Well, this is something that you really just need to
Yeah, my
look at."
brother-in-law is getting into Star Wars because of this.
Right.
He's starting with New Hope and working his way through.
Yeah, I was just shocked at how many, not only Yoda memes are out there, but how many people and the variety of people posting them.
Mhm.
It's like, oh damn, like
One of
it's
the
like
cool
a
things
huge,
about the whole
vast number of people.
enigma that is Baby Yoda is that I'm seeing for the first time and the longest time in the fandom is I'm seeing a lot more of the female fans actually interacting, which is amazing.
Which I think is a good thing because it's not shoved down your throat
Right.
in this. That it doesn't feel
Well,
like
there was a
pandering
blogger.
or
There was a blogger that was like, "Oh, we're 2 episodes in, and there's only been like 2 lines spoken by a female." And
yeah, and it's like
I'm like,
okay,
first off, the female that we've had is like the most respected character
right?
in the entire show.
Yeah, she says shut up and everyone sits down.
Second off,
Yeah.
we have 2 very powerful woman actresses, female actor. I don't know what the political correct is, but females who act. Cara Dune, and there's someone we're going to see later in the show that have signed on to the show.
Not only that, but
So-
directors. There was a director,
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard directed episode 4.
and there was a I forget
They-
her name, but she's an African American lady. But I think she did episodes 2 and 3, or maybe just 2. But it's like, oh, this isn't an issue. You're trying to make it an issue, and why? Honestly, why does it matter? It's
Right.
story first.
Right.
If the story calls for it, you'll get it. But right now, it's the very beginning of the show. Calm down.
Yeah.
If we were 2 seasons
All
in,
social
or
justice
3
warrior thing
seasons
has gotten
in,
way out of hand.
and there was no female characters, I'd be like, okay, this is a little odd. But it's like, guys, calm down. Like, holy shit, you are making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
Because Cara Dune shows up and kicks major ass. It's like,
Not only
I
does she
didn't
kick major
wait.
ass, she beats the hell out of the Mandalorian. She literally
Yeah.
knocks his ass to the ground
It's
with the
like-
literally,
Falcon
it's literally
punch.
the one side of Rule 63. For every male protagonist, there's a female that's his mirror, and she basically is that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like all you have to do is be patient, let the show set shit up, fuck, and then calm down and sit down and watch it. Now, at the end of the show, if there's some problems, let's talk about it and figure it out. But like, god damn, dude, it wasn't even it was the end of episode 2. Twitter had exploded. Like, where's all the females? It's like, guys, Jesus Christ, chill out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Whole
It's
Captain Kennedy kind of started it on that shit.
and that's a nice thing about the show. It's story first. So far, it's story first, and I think that's why a lot of people aren't a huge fan of the sequel trilogy, because it's just like, seems like a lot of political nonsense like shoved in your face.
Right.
But this show is just like, I think everybody could get on board with it, and that's like the beautiful thing about it. We'll see if they can keep it going.
You jinxed it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Anyways,
not the only
guys,
one saying
we
that.
will be back Tuesday night at 8:30 to do another stream. I think we're going to be on StreamYard the next few episodes until the live show for the Collecting Weekly Awards. Dean, we have finalized our nominees. We have
No thanks to me.
I think it's 8 categories, 40 figures and companies that have been nominated this year. Very excited to share those with you on Tuesday's episode. So, Dean, are you excited to share with the world our nominations? I'm pretty excited.
I mean, honestly, I think one of my nominations is on there, so not really.
That's how unbiased we were.
Yeah,
We're also going to do Tuesday the gift card winner and the Clone Commando winner.
that's
So
right.
stay tuned for that. Dean said he wants to become uneligible. So what a nice
I
guy.
didn't say that.
He also has never mentioned anything good about Black Series on the podcast. Just want to remind all those people listening at home.
Okay, here.
Anyways, guys, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Quinn.
And remember, Dean has never said a good thing about Black Series.
Yes, a
Catch you
lot.
guys on the next episode.
This is the way.
Bye.
Good show, guys. Good show.
Nice.
In that broadcast.
There's a lot of